Kai was our second pregnancy, and we were very excited. And at 12 weeks, we had an ultrasound which showed that something potentially was wrong with the baby. And so obviously as parents and as physicians, we just thought of the worst and we became extremely worried.
We did sampling from the placenta. That was okay, so we were starting to feel, I guess, more reassured. But then we had to do a structural ultrasound as part of the process. So now we're kind of months into the pregnancy. And on that is when they started noticing some of the cardiac defects.
They noticed that there was a large hole in the heart. It was very tough to hear the diagnosis, but at the same time, something reassured us very well, that he was going to be okay. In utero, I've learned this obviously with the pregnancy, but it's very hard to tell a lot of these complex issues just because the baby's so small. So we had multiple diagnoses. We were first given the diagnosis of tetralogy of Fallot. Then it was switched to VSD with possible mitral issues. And then I believe 4 weeks before giving birth, the diagnosis of coarctation was added. But nonetheless, as parents, it's still scary to hear all these names thrown out.
So we just didn't really know how to piece it all together, so we were getting guidance from the cardiologist. It definitely put us at ease 100% once we met the surgical team with Dr. Burke. You could tell immediately this was within his scope of practice. He was very comfortable with us. He was open and receptive. He treated us as colleagues, which was nice as a parent and also being a physician. You could tell that he wanted what was best for Kai. We're not gonna push surgery if it's not ready. If he needs it, we've got it,
2 months ago, a baby was presented in our cardiac surgical conference with several heart defects, an atrial septal defect, ventricular septal defect, maybe a small aortic arch, and Kai's, heart defect was serious. He needed to be in the hospital right away. At 2 weeks, we admitted him and discussed him as a team and decided that he needed open heart surgery as a newborn. Made contact with his family and discovered that Kai's mother had open heart surgery by me and our team here at Nicklaus 20 plus years ago. So when she was a teenager, she had a hole in her heart and came to us for open heart surgery.
When I was 13, my pediatrician, it was just a regular checkup, and he just heard a heart murmur. So he sent me over to Nicklaus Children's to have an echo done, and that's when Dr. Zackheim and Dr. Burke came into the echo room. That was the first time I met them both, and they just told us about the ASD that I had, and it was very large, and it needed to be operated on sooner than later. Right before getting pregnant with my first, the OB that I was seeing at the time just wanted to be cautious, so she sent me for a fetal echo just to make sure that there wasn't going to be any congenital heart disease on the baby. And then that's when, it was positive that he did have an ASD. So Bo is going to wait probably till age 3 or 4 to have his ASD closed. Nicklaus Children's actually tested all of us. And it has shown that there is a gene associated with this. And so I think as a physician and as a mom, I kind of, want whoever has congenital heart disease to know that this is something that you need to look out for.
I think we were under a lot of stress up until the day of surgery. And I think at that point, we just had faith that this is the way, this is what he needed.
So when Kai came to our hospital, we were able to offer them a lot more than we could offer Jackie when she was, a teenager having her open heart surgery. So at that time, we didn't have a Nicklaus Children's Hospital tower where mom and dad live in the room with their baby in the intensive care unit and see what was happening to their son, be a part of the care plan, and they're physicians, so they're used to a hospital environment.
It was very hard to let my newborn undergo heart surgery, but it was very evident and easy to let it be to the person that I trust. I think there is an ease in letting someone who you trust, who is just so kind and honest as a physician, whether something's going to be perfect or we don't know yet. And that is something that I really do appreciate, and that's something that not only do I appreciate as a mom and as the former patient, but it's something that I'll continue to give to my patients as well. And as a physician, I learn all the time, and I will continue to be that kind of person that Dr. Burke is.
So I'd like people to know for Heart Month that anyone can have a heart defect, but not anyone can take care of people who have heart defects. You need to go to a team that is dedicated and focused on congenital heart disease. And we know that we're not just taking care of you for the day or week that you're in the operating room or in the cath lab or in the ICU. We're taking care of you and responsible for you over your lifetime.
It's a blessing having a new little one, and seeing Bo kind of transition into that older brother. The first time we bring him to meet Kai, he's like putting the stethoscope on, listen to his heart, like trying to take care of him. Like those, it's touching as a parent. Obviously, he doesn't understand fully what's going on at his age, but that entire environment made what we were going through. It definitely lifted us through that.